I always thought my mom was bluffing. "You keep acting out," she'd say, "and I'll find a way to discipline you properly." I'd roll my eyes, slam a door, sneak out again. I was 17, angry at everything, and convinced I knew more than anyone else. Especially her. Mom was a single parent, sharp, composed, and not afraid to call my bluff. But when she said discipline, I thought she meant extra chores. Grounding. Maybe taking away my phone. I didn't know she had something else in mind. Something transformative. We lived in a modest 2-story home in the suburbs. My room was a chaotic mess of laundry piles, game controllers, and energy drink cans. Her space was always spotless lace curtains, vanilla-scented candles, everything in its place. The contrast drove her insane. Our arguments got worse after she caught me skipping school again. I didn't even lie anymore. I just smirked and walked past her. That night, she said it. "I'm done yelling. If you won't respect rules the normal way, I'll find one you can't ignore." Name's Alex. Average height. Skinny build. Sharp tongue. I had friends, kind of, but they were the type to disappear when things got serious. Most teachers gave up on me. I was that kid in class. No drugs. No crime. Just endless apathy and rebellion. I wasn't a crossdresser. Never thought about it. Didn't even understand it. That's important. Because when everything changed, it wasn't about identity at first. It was about power, control, and maybe something my mom saw in me before I did. The breaking point came on a Thursday. I ditched school and lied straight to her face. She didn't scream, didn't cry, just stared at me across the dinner table like I was a stranger. Then she stood up and said the words that would shatter everything I thought I knew. "Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and follow a new set of rules. You want to act like a brat? Fine. I'll treat you like one. But this time, you'll follow my terms, or I pull you out of school, lock you in this house, and let the world forget about you." I laughed. Genuinely. "Whatever," I muttered, mouth full of pasta. "Like you've got anything left to try." She smiled. "We'll see." The next morning, my alarm went off at exactly 7 a.m., which was weird. I never used an alarm. Then I saw the sticky note on my nightstand. "Bathroom. Now. Or the deal's off." Still half asleep, I stumbled to the hallway. The bathroom door was slightly open. I pushed it open and stopped cold. Laid out neatly on the bathroom counter. A pale pink dress. A matching pair of white tights. A soft cotton bra. A wig on a mannequin head. A lip gloss, mascara, blush. And another note. "You want to prove you're grown? Fine. Handle today like this. Quietly. Respectfully. Fully. No exceptions. I'll know if you cheat. You want the real world? Then show me you can survive it with no ego." I didn't understand. Was this some kind of sick joke? I turned around and there she was, standing in the hallway with her arms crossed. "You said I'd never break you," she said calmly. "So, let's test your strength." I stared at the outfit, then at her, waiting for her to laugh, to say, "Gotcha." She didn't. "You wear this," she said, "or you stay in this house for the next 3 months. No school, no phone, no door on your room. I've already spoken to your principal. He's approved either path." She wasn't bluffing. She'd really planned this. I wish I could say I refused, that I stood up and said, "No way." But instead, I froze. Because for the first time, I wasn't in control. This wasn't some punishment I could just power through. This was personal, intimate, unpredictable. And beneath all the humiliation and confusion, there was a strange, terrifying curiosity. I stood frozen in the bathroom for what felt like forever. That pink dress didn't belong in my world. It was delicate, soft, the exact opposite of how I wanted to feel. But the rules were clear. Put it on or lose everything. My fingers hovered above the fabric. Sweaty. Shaking. Was this even real? I touched the dress. It was light. Silky. It had a subtle floral pattern along the waist and a bow in the back. I had no idea how to put it on properly. No idea what went under what. But I tried. First the tights, I fumbled like an idiot, nearly falling twice. Then the bra. Mom had already stuffed it with soft inserts. I stared at my reflection. Awkward boy chest pretending to be something else. I slid into the dress, pulled it down slowly, tugged the zipper, and then
I saw it. Me.
But not me. Someone softer, smaller, more exposed. When I stepped out of the bathroom, I expected her to laugh. But she didn't. Mom sat at the kitchen table with a calm, eerie stillness like she'd been expecting this moment for years. Her eyes scanned me from head to toe, but she didn't say a word. Instead, she handed me a tiny silver purse. There's lip gloss inside. You'll reapply it every 2 hours. I'm not. She held up one finger. No attitude. That's rule number 1. She gestured to the floor. And your posture. Sit like a lady. Knees together. Back straight. I obeyed. What else could I do? Inside, I was crumbling. Outside, I smiled weakly. It wasn't just the clothes. It was how they made me feel.
Exposed.
Controlled. But also oddly calm. Like I couldn't escape myself anymore. I had to face every part of me. Even the ones I didn't know existed. She made me go with her to the grocery store. In the dress. Hair curled under a wig. Pink ballet flats clicking against the sidewalk. Eyeshadow that shimmered in the sun. I wanted the ground to swallow me whole. Every person who passed, I was sure they were staring, judging, laughing. But then something strange happened. A woman at the checkout smiled at me. Cute dress, she said. I blinked, froze, nodded, and for a brief second, I felt like I belonged. That night, I locked myself in my room. I didn't take the dress off. I sat in front of the mirror, tracing my reflection with my eyes. Who was this? Was it still discipline or something else? I ran my fingers through the wig's soft curls, touched the gloss on my lips. I wasn't just pretending anymore. I was experiencing something. Vulnerability, softness, quiet. And underneath the shame, there was a spark of something dangerous.
Curiosity.
The next day, she made me wear heels. Not high ones. Just enough to make me walk differently.
Slower.
More carefully. I hated her. I wanted to scream. Rip everything off and burn it. But then she said something I'll never forget. You've spent years hiding behind anger, Alex.
But now?
Now you're finally visible. It was terrifying. Or it felt true. It started like any other forced morning dress laid out, heels polished, soft pink cardigan on the hanger. But as I applied blush for the 4th day in a row, I heard it. Bell the doorbell. I froze. Mom peeked into my room with an unreadable expression.
Stay dressed.
Answer it. My heart dropped. Who is it? I whispered. She didn't answer. I walked heels clacking like thunder to the door, stomach twisting. I opened it slowly. It was Leah, my best friend's older sister. A girl I had secretly crushed on for years. Her eyes widened. Alex. I tried to speak. Nothing came out. She stared at me.
Down to the flats.
The gloss. The shaved legs. The dress hugging my waist. I felt my whole identity unravel in her gaze. Leah didn't laugh. She didn't even look disgusted. She looked confused.
And curious.
I didn't know, she said softly. You look kinda good. I slammed the door. Ran upstairs. Collapsed on my bed in a tangled mess of dress and tears. That night, I lost it. I threw the purse across the kitchen. Screamed. You said this was a punishment. A way to fix me. She stood calm, arms crossed.
No.
I said you needed to learn respect for yourself and others. And look what happened. You're more careful.
Softer.
Aware. I trembled. You humiliated me. You unmasked yourself, she said. Now you get to choose. Bury this or face it. I sat in front of the mirror. Mascara streaks down my cheeks. I pulled the wig off. Saw both versions of me at once, one scared boy, one emerging girl. I stared at the fallen wig on the vanity like it held every question I didn't want to ask. Who was I? Was I changing, or was I finally becoming? That night, I went to bed still dressed, no wig. Just the dress. Just me. Mom knocked once. Left a small gift box outside my door. Inside, a delicate silver necklace. With a single charm, a mirror. A note was tucked inside. Who you see is up to you. But see yourself. Don't run from it. The next morning, there was a change in Mom's voice. Get dressed, she said, placing a soft blue dress and white cardigan on the bed. We're going out. Where? I asked. She didn't answer. I got ready hesitantly, but not unwillingly. Each movement had become familiar now. Applying blush, brushing the wig, sliding into tights and flats. I hated how easy it was becoming. Or maybe I hated why it felt easy. We pulled into the driveway of an unfamiliar house. I froze in my seat. Who lives here? Mom looked at me, dead serious. Family. My heart pounded. I looked down at my dress, the soft pleats, the gloss on my lips, the bow tied perfectly in back.
Mom, no.
Please. You need to stop hiding. They need to meet all of you. She stepped out and walked toward the door. I stayed frozen in the car, heart hammering. But then the porch light clicked on, and I heard a voice I knew. Alex. I turned my head slowly. Standing on the porch was my cousin Josh. He was already walking toward the car. His footsteps were loud.
Eager.
I couldn't hide. I couldn't run. I stepped out slowly. Every sound amplified: the click of my flats, the sway of my dress, the rush of blood in my ears. His jaw dropped. What the hell? Silence. Then, is this a joke? His eyes scanned me like I was some broken toy. My mouth opened, but no words came out. I turned to Mom. You said this was about me, about helping me. It is. Then, why does it feel like I'm your project? Like I'm your puppet in a dress? Josh took a step back. Wait, you're serious? I looked at both of them, at my dress, at my reflection in the car window. I didn't know who I was mad at anymore, or if I even wanted to take it off. And that terrified me the most. The wind picked up. My dress fluttered. Josh turned and walked back toward the porch. Mom simply said, Well, are you going to run or introduce yourself? I stood there trembling, exposed, and on the edge of everything I thought I knew. Alex is caught, cornered, and vulnerable but not broken. Stakes are raised. It's no longer just Mom. The secret is cracking. Alex now questions whether this was ever just discipline or something deeper inside him all along. Fire is Alex about to embrace his truth or explode under the pressure? Speech balloon. What would you do in that moment? Speak, run, or fight back? Eyes, drop your guesses below, because part 5 will blow everything wide open.